Welcome. My name's Asha and I'm making a short video for glass students to tell you a bit about an opportunity that's currently available to you as a glassblowing assistant on the island of Aruba. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the job, and I'm also going to talk to you a little bit about Aruba. And hopefully you can get enough information to make a decision as to whether this is something that's right for you. I'm also going to link another video which will show you a demonstration where myself and Giuliano will be presenting the glassblowing to the public. It will involve both me speaking in English and Giuliano speaking in Spanish. Also at the end of the video there will be links, so if you are interested in this position you can follow that link and fill out an application form. So first things first, I'm going to tell you about the job. It's working for Giuliano at Murano Art Glass on the island of Aruba. The job will be assisting, and you will be learning a lot about running the hot shop, from setting it up in the morning to lighting the furnace, lighting the annealer, helping to maintain the equipment, and speaking to the public through the day, learning the role of an assistant, yes, you will also have experimental opportunities where you will be able to do some of your own work, and also Giuliano's quite open to ideas, so yeah, you will learn a very traditional style of glassblowing. So Giuliano is from Venezuela, his family are from Murano. His grandfather was from Murano and he moved to Venezuela. So they've been on Aruba for about 5 years now. It's a really lovely place. It's a really warm atmosphere. There is a combination of the glassblowing and the restaurant together, which was not the original intention. However, during COVID, they opened the restaurant as the building had a permit for it. The guy who had previously owned the building had spent 5 years trying to get a restaurant permit, and by the time he had got the permit, he'd moved on in his career. So that's why there's a restaurant there, and it works really well because there's a lot of tourists coming in. So the role of assistant, you will also be communicating a lot with the public and talking through demonstrations. There's also a small team of really lovely people. There's Giuliano, his sister Patricia and her husband Herman, and there's Alice and Breaky. They're from Holland. Breaky I think is leaving soon to go back to Holland, and there's a really nice team of staff at the restaurant. So it's a lovely family warm environment, and it was really rewarding experience, so I'd recommend it, especially if you want to broaden your horizons and do something completely different and out of your comfort zone. This is a great opportunity for you. Aruba itself is a very hot desert island, so when I was there it actually rained more than any other time in history, I think, so it was very green, but usually apparently it's quite dry. Well, it was dry, it's very hot. Luckily you're surrounded by beautiful clear blue water and white sand beaches, so you can cool off, and it's a picturesque place. A lot of people come there on holiday, so tourism is the main industry in Aruba. It's a very international place. There's people from all over the world. There is the Arubian people, and then there's a big South American influence, there's a big American influence, North American influence, there's also the Dutch influence and the Caribbean influence. So it's a real mesh of cultures. You'll also have the opportunity to meet some other glassblowers on the island, and there's some really lovely people. The slogan of the island is "One Happy Island," and it is a very welcoming place and very friendly and safe. It's, I think, one of the safest of the Caribbean islands. So it's quite small, it's quite busy. You'll be finishing work at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so you'll have plenty of time to explore the island. It'll be a nice early start, so starting around 7 o'clock, lighting the furnaces. You'll learn how to light the furnace and the anila. I went over there with my daughter, who was going to nursery, and this was the first time that Giuliano had someone from abroad before, so it was a learning experience for both of us. I found somewhere, the local accommodation quite close by, which will be included in your package when you go over there. You will be paid over minimum wage, so you will have enough money to live there. It's quite an expensive place to live. The food is expensive because everything's imported onto the island, and because because it doesn't rain much, and there's not a natural water source, so all of the water on the island is desalinated, which prevents people from growing their own food because the water is quite expensive there. However, as an assistant for Giuliano, you will be paid enough money to live comfortably over there, and you will get time and be able to enjoy the island and really get a lot out of it. So yeah, I hope that this has given you some inspiration to find out more, and please follow the links at the end of the video. There will be an application form, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'll also send put my website there and my email, so you can get in touch, and I will send a link to Giuliano's, which you can contact him directly if you wish. He's very friendly, he's very supportive, and yeah, I can't recommend this opportunity enough. So thank you for watching, and yes, best of luck with everything. And welcome to Studio Murano Glass. My name's Asha and this is Alice. We are assistants of Giuliano. This is Giuliano. He's a master glass blower, so he's been doing it for 33 years plus. He learned from his father and grandfather, who came over from Murano. Some of you may have heard of Murano. It's a very famous island, famous for glass blowing. It's a little island off the coast of Italy. So his parents moved over to Venezuela, and they taught him the very traditional Murano techniques. So today you're going to see us make a little glass bird from the start of the process to the end, and you'll learn a little bit about glass and how hot glass works. So this is called a hot shop. That's the name for a place where people make hot glass. So this is a furnace. It's also combined with a reheating chamber called a glory hole. So at the back of this furnace is a crucible, a ceramic crucible. It looks a little bit like this. It's bigger. And inside there is a pot of molten glass. So Giuliano is now going to gather some molten glass on the end of his iron. So this is a stainless steel iron, and he's turning it in the hot glass to pick the glass up. It's like collecting honey from a honey jar. It's very hot and runny when it's at that heat. So the heat in there is 2,100 degrees Fahrenheit. It's got to be really hot to melt the glass, and you've got to maintain the heat in the glass to work with it. So he'll continuously be going back to reheat the glass in the glory hole.
Ok, lo que está diciendo Asha es que yo aprendí a hacer vidrio porque mi familia es de Venecia, de Murano. Tengo 30 años, aunque parezco 25, ¿no? Haciendo vidrio. Y bueno, nada, es que soy la tercera generación. Está hablando que dentro del horno hay una especie de base de cerámica donde está todo el vidrio derretido. Está a 1200 grados. Afuera tenemos lo que son los colores. Van a ver que nunca paramos de girar el tubo de hierro. Y claro, ahorita vamos a empezar a calentar y darle la forma. ¿Okay?
So you may have seen Giuliano dip the coloured glass and the clear glass into these colours. So here we've got some frit, which is tiny pieces of coloured glass, and he's taken the clear glass and dropped it into the colour and then reheated it, and he's now twisting it up with a pair of tweezers, That's going to create a marble effect, a spiral of colour within inside the glass. So that's how old marbles were made. And he's using a tag to sculpt that into the right shape. This is going to make up the body and the head of the bird.
You can see, ahorita lo que le hicimos fue un efecto como las canicas o las metas, no sé cómo le llaman. ¿De qué país son? De Argentina. Como para que sea como una espiral adentro. ¿Okay? Ahorita lo que lo estamos calentando y haciéndolo a la superficie completamente lisa.
So he's now going to get that glass really hot again, and then he's going to be able to shape the head and the body from that piece. So, does anyone know what glass is made from? Sand, yes. It looks like beach sand, like this. It's a specific kind of sand called silica sand, and it comes from a quartz crystal. So we use this because it's very soft and workable. It has a few more ingredients added to it, so it has soda ash and lime, and we receive it in these small pebbles. So at the beginning of the day, the furnace is turned on. It takes about 2 hours to get up to temperature. The glass is then molten and ready to use. So Giuliano is now shaping it with a piece of wood. That's just fruit wood, hard wood, that's soaked in water 24/7.
Ya pueden ver el espiral.
So the tools that we're using today haven't changed much since the Roman times, especially with this very traditional Murano style of glass. You may see in some American hot shops that do a lot of work with a torch, but here we're doing very old-fashioned traditional style of glass making. So he's now reheating it. So when it comes out of the glory hole, you'll see how bright orange it is. That's not the colour of the glass, that's the colour of the heat. Glowing. And this tool here, these are called the jacks. He's created a neckline, and now he's creating a head for the bird. So the neckline is where the piece is eventually going to be disconnected from the iron. So you want to take it off there to let it cool down.
Now sort of like a snowman, but it's gonna be a bird, okay? Ahorita lo que hicimos fue cortar lo que dividir la parte de la cabeza con el cuerpo, y ahorita lo que voy a hacer, voy a empezar a jalarle la cola y la nariz. Ya con estos dos movimientos que vamos a hacer ahorita, ya van a ver cómo ya se transforma en un pájaro.
So now it's really hot, it's really malleable. He's going to take some tweezers and pull out the tail. And now he's going to pull out the beak. And create some little dents where the eyes, for the eyes. And you've got to be fast because it cools down so quickly. And on this iron I'm going to collect a little bit more glass. I'm going to take it over to him, and that's going to be the wings.
So you can see we have already the body. Now we're going to start to add the wings. Que ahorita lo que hicimos fue vamos a colocarle una sal con el condimento más caliente. And ready. Okay. Viene la primera ala, the first part of the first wing. Okay, second one.
So there you go, he positioned the wing up onto the bird, and then he used some textured tweezers to create some ridges in the wing. Now he's using some tweezers to pull out that shape.
Separate the wings.
And he's going to give it one last flash. It's called a flash when you introduce some more heat in there to stop it cooling too fast and cracking. be to cool the jack line. So he's going to do that using some tools and some water, create little cracks around where the line is, where it's going to be disconnected from the iron. Doing some final touches. You hear the water crackling the glass. And the final step is to put it into an annealing kiln. This is to let the glass cool really slowly overnight.